It's loud. Always loud. Even when the big guns stop, the ringing in your ears doesn't. You are 19 years old. You thought you were going on an adventure, a parade, a crisp uniform, a hero's welcome. You were promised you'd be home by Christmas. Christmas was 2 years ago. Now, there is only the mud. It's not normal mud. It's a thick, freezing, endless paste. It sucks at your heavy boots. It swallows dropped rifles. It claims wounded men who slip in the dark. You are standing in water up to your shins. You have been standing in it for 3 days. You can't feel your toes anymore. When you finally get a moment to take your boots off, you see it. The skin is pale, blue, peeling away. They call it trench foot. The medics just tell you to keep your feet dry. A joke, everything is wet. The earth is drowning. The smell hits you next. Cordite, rot, stagnant water, latrines overflowing in the heavy rain. Unwashed bodies pressed together in a ditch carved into the earth. You stop noticing it after a month, or you pretend to. Then the rats. They are the only things thriving in this wasteland. Fat, fearless, the size of small cats. They crawl over your face when you try to sleep. They eat the hardtack biscuits right out of your pockets. They eat whatever is left out there in no man's land. You try not to think about that. You don't look over the parapet. A sniper is always watching the line. A careless head raised too high to look at the horizon gone. Just a sharp crack echoing in the morning mist. So you stay low. And you wait. Waiting is the real war. Staring at a dirt wall, cleaning a rifle that jams in the damp, reading a letter from home until the paper literally falls apart in your hands. They ask what it's like, you lie. You write back that you are fine. Because what else can you say? How do you explain the sound of a man caught in the wire at night? You can't. So you fold the letter, put it in your pocket. Then the sentry shouts, not the whistle to attack. The rattle for the masks, gas, a silent, sickly yellow cloud drifting on the wind. You have 10 seconds. You fumble with the heavy canvas bag on your chest. Pull the stiff rubber over your face. The glass lenses fog up immediately. You breathe through a filter that tastes like charcoal and old spit. The new boy next to you drops his mask in the mud. He panics. He takes a breath. You watch him drown on dry land. There is nothing you can do. You just watch through fogged glass.
The cloud passes, but the artillery begins. It doesn't sound like thunder. It sounds like the sky is tearing open. The ground shakes so violently it rattles your teeth. The dirt walls of the trench collapse inward. Shells drop for hours, sometimes for days. You press yourself into the earth, making yourself as small as possible, covering your ears, praying to a God you aren't sure is listening anymore. The man beside you is shaking. He won't stop crying. They call it shell shock. The officers just call it cowardice. When the guns finally stop, the sudden silence is worse, because the silence means they are coming, or it means you are going. The officer walks down the line. Fix bayonets. Your hands tremble as you lock the cold steel onto the barrel. Stand to you, climb the wooden fire step. Look out across a landscape that looks like the surface of the moon. No trees, no grass, just craters, smoke, and wire. The whistle blows. You go over the top. Walking into a solid wall of lead, machine guns cut the line in half before you take 20 steps. You don't aim, you just run, hoping the artillery cut the barbed wire. It rarely does.
You survive the charge, or you don't. If you do, you take a new trench, a trench that looks exactly like the one you just left, just a few hundred yards forward, thousands of lives paid for a ruined stretch of mud. Tomorrow, they might counterattack, and you will run back to the trench you started in. Nothing gained, everything lost. This was daily life. Not one bad day, every day waking up exhausted. Not knowing if today was the day the shell found your dugout. Not knowing if the mustard gas would settle deep in your lungs. Not knowing if the world would ever look green again. You went to sleep, woke up and did it again, until the war ended, or until you did.